Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. This is another section of the Agile Ways of Working series. The last time I put a video out there, I was talking about ways of working. Continuing there, today I'm going to be talking about definition of done, definition of ready, for your tickets on your Jira board, your Azure board, your Trello board, Monday.com board, whatever board you use to manage your project. And the reason I'm bringing this video to you is to make it easy for you to just navigate your way, especially those who are just coming into the industry as a Scrum Masters or as a team lead, Agile team lead, or digital project manager, and you just want to know how to conduct ways of working with your team. It might be that you are forming a new team or it's an existing team. This is still very much relevant to you. So first and foremost, in your definition of ready, that means there's a list of checklists that the team needs to observe. There's a list of checklists that the team needs to adhere to before we can say that ticket is ready for development. Hence why definition of ready. First and foremost, the tickets must be prioritized by the product owner or a proxy product owner. Whoever is in charge of owning the backlog must prioritize the ticket, and the ticket must be in alignment, at least broadly, to the roadmap of the project. Is very, very important and key. Now, every ticket brought into sprint or that is being worked on must be estimated. How do we know that this ticket we're planning into is going to be enough for us to work on for the next 2 weeks, depending on what your cadence is? Some cadences are 2 weeks, 1 week, 4 weeks. But however long your sprint is, these tickets must be estimated, and it can also be linked to an epic. So you have a group of tickets that relate to a particular feature that you want to release or that you want to work on. So it must be prioritized by the product owner. It must be duly estimated. And estimation, I think I'll go through that in another video. In estimation, you can use planning poker for your estimations or use the Fibonacci scale of estimating for your estimation. If you want to know more about these two method of estimating, please leave a comment in the chat box and I'll pick it up and make a video alongside. So it must be prioritized by the product owner. It must be estimated. Also, your tickets, on the board or that you're planning into sprint must be written in such a way that the description is clear. So most preferably, write it out as a user story. If you have a business analyst on your team, they're very much good at writing those. Even you as a Scrum Master, you can write a user story. So the user story must detail, what the ticket is addressing, the problem the ticket is addressing, the why and stuff like that. So for instance, say you want to create a user story that you're working on has to do with how somebody might use a platform, for instance. So you can say, maybe as a data engineer or as a platform engineer, I want to have access to GitHub repo so I can carry out X, Y, Z tasks. So your user story must be clear, well defined, and also have acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria, how are we going to know that what you've worked on this ticket is complete? Now we can test it. Acceptance criteria is a way for us to test that what you've worked on is actually working and it meets the objective for which it was set out in the first instance. So you must have acceptance criteria, and this acceptance criteria must be well understood by the product owner, by the entire team who's working on this particular ticket. Your ticket must also be small enough to be accommodated in a 2 weeks cadence or 1 week cadence or 4 weeks cadence, depending on how long your cadence is. So it must be small enough, to be completed within a sprint, and it must also meet invest criteria. Again, if you want me to talk more about invest criteria, leave a comment in the comment section. I'll pick it up and talk about it. So your ticket must have, it must be clear. What is the why? What is the need of the problem? What is this ticket going to solve? What problem is this ticket going to address and solve? So you must have all those in your ticket before we can say this ticket now is ready to go into development. Also, other things that you can take notice of is there any constraints on this ticket? Is this ticket depending on external team, or our external team dependent on this ticket? Are those dependencies manageable? Are those dependencies out of the way? So you have to decide with the team, how do you want to manage your dependencies, and that has to be factored into every ticket that you create, so that it meets your own particular team definition of ready. So this ticket must be, refined. It must be refined. You can't just pick up a ticket from the backlog and put it into development. No, it must be properly refined, with every discipline that needs to have a touch point on this ticket. They are all involved, whether it's the UX designer, the content designer, the security people. They need to check if there's any security instances, any security issues that we need to address. So this ticket must be visible to everyone, and the visibility must be before you plan your sprint. You see, so your definition of ready, it just helps to safeguard unnecessary discussion when you go into planning. Your definition of ready helps to just safeguard against unnecessary discussion or just confusion as to what is this ticket supposed to do, what is it supposed to address, what problem is this trying to solve, because all of those will have been done in your refinement. So for every ticket that you are planning into sprint, it must meet this definition of ready. And it's not limited to what I've just said. If there's anything specific to your team, or if there's anything specific to your particular project, then to make it easier for your team to walk through and make your process more seamless, you can also include those things that you've identified as a team that is needed for you before we can say this ticket is now ready for development. It's now ready to go into the sprint. It's now ready to be planned into the next sprint. I hope this short video makes a lot of sense for you and just kind of help you along your way in knowing what to do when addressing issues about ways of working, specifically when it has to do with definition of ready. In my next video, I'll be talking about definition of done. Until I come your way again, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, just as a form of encouraging me as well to carry on putting out these videos out there. And then until I come your way again, bye-bye.